my name is Daryl. Welcome to this session that discusses the support of the creation of service histories against only the activity, which is available in the 23B release of the Oracle Utilities Work and Asset Cloud Service. In this session, we'll talk about this new feature and how it can impact your business. I will give you an overview of the support of the creation of service histories against only the activity, followed by more detail explain how you would use it and the benefits to your business. Then we'll walk through a demonstration. Finally, we'll explain what you need to consider when implementing this product in your business and provide you with some additional resources. Prior to this release, whether it was appropriate or not, all service histories had to be associated with an asset and/or an asset location. That service history would be visible on the activity and asset location records. Now, as long as the service history BO does not require it, the individual user can decide if the service history they're creating should be associated to an asset and/or asset location or not, and blank out the associated asset and/or asset location fields accordingly. Now let's take a look at the support of the creation of service histories against only the activity.
So let's take a look at creating service histories against just the activity in the application. I want to show you the business objects that you'll need to configure that's detailed later in the PowerPoint. So for the general service history business object, you need to inactivate this algorithm in the Options tab. So this is the one that defaults the location onto the service history that you're creating on the activity. So that's on the general service history, and you also need to do the same thing on the questionnaire service history. Inactivate algorithm, same algorithm. So let's go take a look at an activity and how that works. So I've got an activity. If I scroll down, I have some planned service histories. There's the general service history, and that's a questionnaire service history. The general service history is shown as required before I'm able to close out this activity. Where do I create my service histories from? The Completion tab. So if I go to the Completion tab, it's going to look a little bit different than previously. I've got my service history types. I have not broadcast the asset. I now have an activity service history zone that's showing me all of the service histories created against this activity, whether against the asset as well or not. And then these the service history types from that planned service history zone. And if I broadcast the asset, as long as those were valid for the asset as well, you're going to see all valid service history types for the asset. And if the service history gets created against the asset, it's going to show up in this zone down here. So let's create one against only the activity. And you'll see that the asset and location got populated. Because it's a general service history, I can actually take those out. And if I had not disabled that algorithm and I hit save right now, it still would have created the service history, but it would have created against the asset location as well because of that algorithm. Let's go take a look at the service history. See, no work location, no asset location, just the activity. And that's the enhancement. So that general service history did not relate to the asset, so I didn't want to create it against the asset. But if I did have one that should be referenced to the asset, I broadcast the asset so I can see all the ones that are valid. And I'd go through this service history and populate it appropriately and save it. So I can still create against an asset, and when I do, it shows in the activity service history because the activity was referenced, and it's showing in the asset service history because the asset was referenced. Let's take a look at a questionnaire service history. And you'll see that the location and asset again got populated. And you'll know it's questionnaire because it has questions on it. So I address the questionnaire and I save that. And it's only going to show up over here in the activity service history, not in the asset service history. And that's the extent of the enhancement. And let's get back to the PowerPoint.
In this implementation advice section, we'll go through what you need to consider before enabling this feature in your business and what you need to know to set it up. Here are the two configurations you'll need to complete in order to use this new functionality. That algorithm defaults the asset location onto the service history after you save it, even if you were to have blanked it out prior to saving the service history. For additional information about the support of the creation of service histories against only the activity, see the Work and Asset Cloud Service documentation on Oracle Help Center, which is available at docs.oracle.com. The current content of the training available within the Oracle Utilities WAMWAX Certification Learning Path that you can access on Oracle University at education.oracle.com does not cover this content. That training is based on a prior release and is in the process of being updated. This concludes this presentation. Thank you for watching.